Leipzig, Germany. November 1923. Two neighbors stand in the same street. Today, the pianist is begging for bread on the corner. It isn't. The conventional wisdom we've all been sold is this: get a good education, earn the right credentials. Climb high enough on the ladder, and economic storms will never touch you. The higher your degree, the safer your floor. Engineers wash cars. PhDs trade cigarettes for potatoes just to survive. But hidden deep in the labor market data from Weimar Germany to Venezuela, the skills that actually survived and sometimes even thrived aren't the ones you'd expect. Part 1. The repair economy, where collapse creates demand. Buenos Aires, December 2001. Argentina defaults on $93 billion at the time. The largest sovereign default in history. Banks freeze overnight. Cash machines run dry. The peso is about to lose 60% of its value in days. Middle-class families take to the streets banging pots in protest. But now his services are dramatically cheaper in real terms, and demand explodes. The mechanic who can keep a 1995 Renault running for another 100,000 kilometers is no longer just a service provider. This is the first ironclad law of collapse economics, when people can no longer afford to replace broken things. But skilled trades, mechanics, electricians, plumbers, metalworkers, held steady. And in many cases there, real wages in the informal economy actually rose because supply contracted faster than demand. The automotive repair sector handled an estimated 30% more vehicles in 2000 than in 2000. In Weimar, Germany, during hyperinflation, while clerks and bureaucrats became worthless almost overnight. Plumbers and carpenters operated in a parallel barter economy, paid in coal, bread, sausage, and firewood, bypassing the dying currency entirely. Most skills lose value when the economy contracts. Repair skills do the opposite. And the more desperately people need someone who can fix them, you're not riding the economic cycle. You're countercycling it. Repair is a long position on economic dysfunction, and dysfunction, unfortunately, is always in abundant supply. Moscow suburbs, summer 1992. The Soviet Union has been dead for 8 months. Shelves are empty. Inflation is running at 2,600%. Pensions are vaporizing. Yet, Russia does not experience famine. Why? Because 71% of Russian households had a dacha, a small plot of land outside the city. They actually knew how to use it. These tiny plots produced 90% of Russia's potatoes and 77% of its vegetables. Also 87% of berries and fruit, and massive shares of meat and milk. Households fed more than half the country. It wasn't just owning land that saved them. It was the preserved, generational knowledge of how to plant and harvest, and how to preserve and store food without relying on industrial inputs. You cannot confiscate agricultural knowledge. You cannot inflate away the ability to grow potatoes or can vegetables properly. The same pattern appeared in Argentina's 2001 crisis, where massive barter networks rewarded those who could preserve food, or sue or repair far more than those who only brought credentials. In today's world, where 75% of global food calories come from just 12 plants and incredibly fragile supply chains, The ability to produce and preserve food locally is quietly becoming one of the most undervalued forms of human capital. Part 4. The skill that scales when institutions collapse. Havana, Cuba, 1993. You are a physician with 7 years of elite medical training. Yet, during the special period, your hospital has no anesthetics, no antibiotics, and often no electricity. The government even prohibits doctors from working privately. 10,000 Cuban doctors ended up driving taxis. This exposes the central paradox of credential-based skills. The more a skill depends on institutional infrastructure. Hospitals for medicine, courts for law, corporations for accounting, the more vulnerable it becomes when that infrastructure fails. But raw medical knowledge itself proved incredibly resilient. Doctors suturent, manage infections with basic antiseptics, and treat nutritional deficiencies using whatever was available, remained highly valued in community settings. Here's the deeper principle that ties all the skills together. The skills that survive every economic collapse share one structural property: they function independently of failing institutions. Repair needs no bureaucracy. Monetary translation needs no central bank. Food production needs no global supply chain. Basic medicine needs no hospital. Credentials are derivatives. Their value is entirely derived from the system that grants them. Real skills that address fundamental human needs are the underlying asset. History has been screaming this lesson for thousands of years, across every continent and every monetary regime. From Russian dacha farmers and Argentine mechanics to Cuban physicians, Weimar carpenters, and Lebanese currency brokers, the people who retained economic dignity were those whose skills never needed institutions to begin with. You came into this video thinking about recession-proof skills. The real question is much harder: which skills are institution-proof? The answer has been the same for over 2,000 years. If this video cracked something open for you, hit subscribe. We perform economic autopsies here, so you don't become the next case study.